talking about something other than photography, something that many of us may have to go through in our lifetime, and that is having a medical emergency, and it's going to set you back as far as your health goes or your fitness goes, and you probably want to get back to normal or as close to normal as you can, and that's what I did. So I wanted to share some of the things that I went through and things that I did to get back into shape. First of all, I had a stroke that affected my balance and coordination, and it put me in the hospital for close to a month, and part of that stay was being in the hospital rehab, which had a great effect on me. My stroke affected my balance and coordination, so basically I had to learn to walk all over again, and it took me quite a while. But through the help of some really wonderful, great trainers, doctors, and nurses, I was able to come back, and I still suffer the effects of my stroke, but I learned to get around, or I learned to live with the obstacles I had and make the best of them. And then shortly afterwards, after doing a lot of testing in the hospital, they realized that I had a problem with my heart valve. So I had to have open heart surgery to repair and replace a leaky aorta heart valve, which doctors think may have caused my stroke, some debris getting into the bloodstream, and that's what happened. So after doing a lot of tests, it was determined that the best way to correct that, instead of having what's called a TAVR, where they go through the groin area, they had to go in open heart right here, open me up, and the whole works. So I survived that, and I really had to recuperate quite a bit. So I do want to mention that you follow your doctor's advice and your doctor's order so you don't do any further damage. So that's a plus. Check with your doctor before doing any kind of activity after you're done with the program that they give you. So first of all, after I had my stroke, and I was in there for quite a while, but towards the end they put me on rehab, and they really helped me do so much, and they were pretty tough at it, and I liked that. They didn't give me any slack, or let's take it easy today. They pushed me pretty hard, and that's what I really appreciated. And then the same with my open heart surgery. Afterwards, I had a in-home, I think it lasted maybe close to a month, where they would come into my home. At first, twice a week, and then once a week for a while. And then we would go through some exercises. Most of the exercises there that I did after my open heart surgery was like stretching exercises and walking, that type of thing. Because after my open heart surgery, so they gave me a list of things that I had to do or I couldn't do. And one of them was I couldn't lift, push, or pull anything over 5 pounds. And that's not very much. So, and I couldn't do that for about 8 weeks, they told me. And after doing that, of course, you're going to lose, or at least in my case, I lost a lot of strength and muscle mass. And of course, after surgery, in my case, I didn't have much of an appetite for a while. So I lost a lot of weight and muscle mass. So I wanted to do something, of course, after I was done with their rehab, I wanted to do something that would bring me back my strength and muscle mass. And that's what I did. And I couldn't do anything until I had my consultation with the doctor after, I think it ended up being 7 weeks after my surgery, where I had my doctor appointment, and they checked everything out, and they said I was really good. I was good to go. I could start doing exercises in the gym, but just to take it easy. So naturally I they recommended that I use lighter weights, and that's what I did. And of course, even at my age, I can't do a lot of heavy weights anymore, like I used to. But light weights is fine, and I stuck with it. So in my case, I wanted to do some weight training. So I went to our gym that our development has, and it's a pretty good gym. It's not as big as some of these huge fancy gyms, but it has enough there that I could do a reasonably good job of getting back into shape. So I started going to the gym 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where I would do weight training. And on my days off, I would do things like work in those machines. It's like a bicycle. I would do that. Or sometimes I'd walk around our development quite a bit. And I also have friends one of my friends, he also had open heart surgery years ago, but he likes to swim a lot. So you don't have to do exactly things that I'm doing, although I wanted to share my experience with you. But do something. Of course, check with your doctor first, but when you can, do something, whether it's swimming. Other friends like to walk a lot. One of the guys I know, it seems he walks for hours sometimes every day, and he just loves to walk. And other people might run, so if you're a runner, that's also good. But again, check with your doctor. Another guy I know, he likes to bicycle all over, and that's very good exercise too. So after 7 weeks, I had my appointment with my doctor, and they told me I was good to go as far as exercising the way I wanted to, using light weights, but just take it easy. And that's what I did. And we're going to take a look at some of the exercises I did. But first, let me just mention, when I went through and I had my stroke, from the EMS that came and got me to my hospital stay in ICU, and then later on at the rehab center at the hospital, they did, doctors and nurses and my people that helped me with the rehab, they just did such a fantastic job. I was very grateful and very happy in the job that they did. And the same with my open heart surgery, which was done at the Durham VA Center in Durham, North Carolina. And my main doctor was from Duke University, did a great, outstanding job. I was just so happy with the service I got, excellent quality of doctors, nurses, and then I had the rehab people come in afterwards. So I do want to give a lot of thanks to those people, even the people behind the scenes in the background, maybe taking out the trash, just keeping that place so clean the way it was. If you have to be in the hospital, I think it's a pleasure to be in something that's so well kept, so clean, and it's so competent in the people that you have working there. So for that, I'm grateful. But let's take a look at some of those exercises. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'll do this workout routine at the gym, and I'll stick with this routine just about all the time unless we have other things that we have to do. And I'll start with a kneeling push-up, and I'll do about 12 or 13 repetitions or reps. And when I first started doing these, it was very difficult for me, and I just did a few, and I just built up to it, so it's a lot easier now. And so now I do about 12 or 13, and on the first set that I do, I'll keep my hands close together, and that puts more emphasis on the triceps. So I'll do a set of that, and instead of resting and doing another set, I'll go right over to the leg machine and I'll do a set of leg extensions. And this works your quads and also builds your knee strength. And I'll also do about 12 or 13 like this. Now, when you start your workout program, you don't want to use too heavy weights, just something that you're comfortable with because you don't want to overstrain, and something that possibly you could do about maybe 8 or 10 repetitions. And then after a while, when you build up to 12, 13, or 14, you add some more weight onto it and you go back to less repetitions, maybe 8 or 10. So then after I finish up on my leg extensions, that's one set. And then I'll go back to the kneeling push-up and I'll do another set. And this time I'll bring my hands a little further away, putting a little bit more emphasis on my chest and maybe less on the triceps. And then after I do that set, I'll go right back again to the leg extension and I'll do another set. So right there is 2 sets of each, and more than likely I'll do another set. So then I go back to the kneeling push-up, again 12 or 13, and this time I'll take my hands even further apart, working more of the chest muscles. And after the kneeling push-up, I'll do another set of leg extensions, and that finishes up 3 sets of each. And then I'll go to the tricep pull down with the rope. Now sometimes I may substitute this with a bar, but I usually use the rope for this one. And this works the upper back, the arms, especially the tricep and the chest and the shoulder muscles. And then instead of resting again, I'll go right over to the leg machine, and then I'll do the leg curl for this. And I'll do a set of about 12 to 13 reps. And this works the thigh muscles, more the hamstrings. And again, I'll do at least 2, sometimes 3 sets of each one. And these are good exercises because strong hamstrings can really help to increase your power, speed, agility in sports and physical activities. And it's also good for injury prevention. And then my next set of exercises, I'll usually do the dumbbell tricep extension. And this works mostly the tricep muscles. And instead of resting and doing another set of the dumbbell extensions, I'll do a set of dumbbell squats. And this works the quads and the lower back. And here you hold a dumbbell in each hand, and I try to go down so the back of my legs are pretty much parallel to the floor. And again here, I'll do 3 sets of each. The dumbbell tricep extension and then the dumbbell squats. And then after that set is done, I'll do a set of barbell curls. And this works the arms, especially the bicep muscles and the chest also. And for this, I'll do about 12 repetitions. And then I'll go back again to working the legs. And here I'm doing the calf raises. And of course, this is good for your calf muscles. But here I do a higher number of repetitions, usually about 28 or 30. And next for my arms, I'm still working my biceps. So I'm doing a dumbbell curl. And again, this works the biceps and the forearms. So I'll do about 12 repetitions. Now sometimes if I want to work the leg muscles a little bit harder, I'll do another set of calf raises, and sometimes I'll even do them without any weights. And then after I do the dumbbell curl, I may do a couple sets of the machine bar curls. And again, this works the biceps. And between 10 or 12 reps. And then using the machine, I'll put on a longer bar and I'll do what they call the chest press. And this works the chest and the tricep muscles. And then we go to the cable extension, or sometimes called a lateral raise. And this works the lateral deltoid and the front and rear part of your shoulder muscles. And for this, I'll do several variations. I may do like different heights. And again, I'll do about between 10 to 12 repetitions, 2 or 3 sets. Now with this machine that has the cables, I recently started doing a lot of different cable exercises. You can do a lot of different, you could do curls with each hand using the cables, and you can do tricep exercises, bent over rows. There's so much that you can do with this. So this is something that you can do to vary your cable workout with. And then I also may do the kettlebell bent over row. And this works the back muscles, the lats, the traps, and the rear deltoids. And then there's also the upright row. And many times I'll substitute this one being done with a cable. So the cable machine is kind of nice because it offers different alternatives and working different body parts. Or you can use the dumbbells to do your upright rows. So this is the exercise program that I'm currently doing, and it's working out quite well. It may take me about an hour, maybe a little bit more sometimes less. It all depends how much time I have to devote to it. But it's something that really helped build back my strength and my muscle mass that I lost after my surgery. So this is a workout that I did and pretty much to this day still do. Sometimes I'll go ahead and add a few different forms of exercises, but pretty much the same thing, using weights and machines. And it's been working okay for me. I'm not a diehard. I don't get really heavily into it. I know I'm not going to be a Arnold Schwarzenegger or Steve Reeves, but it keeps me in reasonably good shape and it keeps me feeling good. There's nothing like feeling good when you're in good shape and you take good care of your health. Now, my diet, we have a pretty good diet. My wife is a great cook, and we try to eat the best that we can. However, I'm not really a diehard. I enjoy pizza occasionally, and coffee and donut in the morning, but I try to limit junk food or some of the things that may not be as good for you. We try to eat healthy as much as we can. So that's my take anyway. So check with your doctor, make sure that you're okay to do some form of exercise that is not going to hurt you, but it's going to help you increase your stamina, your endurance. You'll look and you'll feel better. Another thing that I want to mention, when you're laying in a hospital, of course it's very boring, could be depressing, gets old very, very quickly. And it may be something, you may need something to look forward to, and you may want to also have like a good role model or an example, something or someone that could motivate you to keep going, to try harder. One time I was laying in my hospital bed, going through my phone, looking at YouTube videos, and I came across this, I think his name was Roy Benavidez, a Green Beret in the Vietnam War. I believe he was one of the most decorated soldiers of that time. They call him the modern day Rambo. And I was just listening to this video, and he was just amazing. He went through so much. They were in this firefight over in Vietnam. He got shot so many times. Once he was in a body bag, I think it was. Anyway, there's all kinds of neat stories about him, and I really recommend if you would like to have somebody to influence you to keep going. And one time he was in the hospital. He lost. Doctors said that he would never walk again. But while he was in the hospital, he would sneak. He would crawl out of bed, and he would practice or try walking. And many times they would catch him doing that, and the nurses would put him back in the bed. Then he'd go back to sleep, and maybe a little bit after or next day, he would just keep doing it again. So to make a long story short, he did it. He learned how to walk all on his own even. So, and this guy just never quit. He was just such a great warrior and such an inspiration. And another one of my inspiration was, his name is Joseph Greenstein, known as the Mighty Atom. I've known him, well, I didn't really know him, but I know of him. As a kid, I used to go to the Great Allentown Fair in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I would watch him. There was the strong man. He would live in a truck there at the fair. He would do amazing feats of strength, bending horseshoes, bending nails, putting nails into boards. And one time I saw him take one of those thick nails and he bit it in half. Amazing. He was the most amazing man I've ever known. And I used to watch him at the Allentown Fair since I was a child. And I kept going back since way after high school even. Before we moved out of the area, we would go back to the fair and I'd stand there sometimes and watch him for hours. But anyway, he was a guy, strongest man in the world. He was relatively a short man, and at a very old age, he was able to do these feats and many more. He even gave me a nail that he bent in half. And many of these things that he would bend or break, he would pass them around to the audience, and I'd see these big guys try to bend it. They couldn't budge it, and then he was a strong man, little guy, but he had it was up here. A lot of it is in your mind, and of course by doing these things, he got better and better at it and stronger. But he was one to never give up and never think that he couldn't defeat something, that he couldn't defeat that nail or that horseshoe. So these are all great things to keep in mind. So keep going and don't quit. And you may not be back to 100%, but you're going to find that you're going to get back and you're going to be the best that you can be for your situation. And you're going to feel so much better. You're going to look better. And you're going to be able to enjoy the people around you, your friends and family, and it'll all be worth it, you'll see. So thank you very much for watching and wish you all the best.